right, we are going to briefly overview what key points are, how to write them, and also give you a really clear example of effective key points for a lesson. So here we go. Key points are the most essential concepts associated with the standard and objective, and they really guide the creation of daily lesson plans. Each subject has nuances to how they write key points, but in math, we're talking about why, what, and how. So the why of a concept, any new definitional knowledge would be the what, and the how would be the process you would take to apply the concept that students are learning about. So, how do I write key points? What should I look at? Well, first, you'll need to review the standard. You'll have to review the lesson objective or objectives. And you'll also want to review and actually do some of the student work to get a good idea of the skills involved in the concept you are teaching. So we are going to use this standard here, 4.md.a.3. It's a fourth grade math standard in order to do this. And the standard specifically is to apply the area and perimeter formulas for rectangles in real world and mathematical problems. That is the standard. And here we have the objective and an example of student work that would align with this lesson. So take a moment to read the objective and the problem. And then we'll kind of work through it together to answer that question at the bottom. What big idea or conceptual understanding are students supposed to develop through this activity? So over here, we've got the problem. Jorge is carpeting 2 rooms. One room is a square with a side that measures 6 meters. The other room is a rectangle with sides that measure 3 meters and 12 meters. How many square meters of carpet does Jorge need? So in order to figure out what concepts students are learning about and really how they're going to be doing this, it's really helpful to actually just do the work yourself. So let's just take a look here and we can kind of sketch out what Jorge is doing over here. Here's 6 by 6. That didn't work. Here's 6 by 6. And we know the area of that would be 36 meters squared. And then we can draw the other one, which would be 3 meters and 12 meters. Here's 3, and here is 12. And we know also that 3 times 12 is also 36, so this would also be 36 meters. So in order to answer this question, we know that we need to find the area of both of these and then add them together to give us a grand total of 72 meters squared is how much carpet he will need. So after working through that, just take a moment to think about what we actually had to do in order to solve this, what conceptual understandings we must have in order to solve a problem like that. And if you need to pause the video for a moment to think about it, go ahead. And if not, you can keep going on. We can see how we use this to come up with our key points. So our why, our conceptual understanding. We know from doing that problem that 2 figures with different lengths and widths can have the same area. Each of those squares we drew had different lengths and widths for sides, but they had the same area because they had the same number of square units within. Are what the definitional knowledge students need? Well, they need to know what area is. They need to know that that's the amount of space inside a shape. And they need to know the area is measured in units squared with units that are 1 unit long on each side. It's a square unit. And then you can think about how we applied the area process. What did we actually do? So we determined the length and width of the shape, and then we multiplied by the length of the width, by the length and the width. And we used units squared in order to do that. So all of these give us our why, what, and how key points for the lesson that has this objective, addressing that 4.md.3 standard.